No one's got time for 20-minute long review videos when you can get what you need in 5 minutes, so here's a cut the BS review on Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 is set in a fictional Caribbean island called Yara, under the supreme dictatorship of Anton Castillo, aka Giancarlo Esposito. You've seen him before, he's the infamous villain in Breaking Bad known as Gus Fringe. Although this is Far Cry 6, the Far Cry series has produced 6 main games and also 3 standalone games which are essentially reskins of the main ones, but each one is addicting as the last. Far Cry 6 has a very addicting gameplay loop which I was really immersed in. You either go in stealthy with a bow popping heads, or you go blow some shit up and cause some havoc. Ultimately, every single Far Cry game runs the same and this is no exception. So if you're looking for some revamped game with groundbreaking innovative gameplay, well, you're gonna be disappointed. However, this game is still a blast. I've had fun playing all the other Far Cries in the past and I'm having an amazing time playing this one because it reminds me a lot of Far Cry 3 with the whole islandscape. In terms of gameplay, not a lot has changed in this game. However, they did include a lot of new mechanics that you can play around with and have fun. They have this backpack in the game which is called the Supremo, which is on a cooldown. There are different iterations of the backpack, such as giving you a self-revive, shooting clusters of gas or even rockets, or even making you go berserk and providing you with a temporary buff. I really like the backpack. It kind of added a little extra spice to the gameplay loop. They actually have a ridiculous amount of guns for you to play around with and a large handful of unique weapons. I tried to play around with as many as I could, but there was a lot. I made sure to give all the unique weapons a try, and when I found a unique weapon that I really enjoyed, I went to the common variety of it and actually allows you to put more attachments on it and customize it the way you like, because you cannot customize the unique ones. But to be honest with you, I've used the bow in 90% of the gameplay because I absolutely love the way it feels when you get a one-shot kill in the head. Alongside the gunplay, you also have pets to help you out, such as an alligator and a cute little dog in a wheelchair called Chorizo. They have a lot of customizations in this game when it comes to attachments, cosmetics such as charms and skins, as well as upgrades for your backpack, vehicles, main base, and so much more. There's a lot to collect and upgrade, which is definitely going to keep you busy in this game. I didn't end up using 90% of the attachments or even some of the upgrades, but the options are still there, which is kind of nice to have. In each so-called states, you'll acquire a main base which you can build particular buildings to help you with, such as a hunting shack, mercenary outposts, fishing and cooking buildings, and they'll kind of give you passives and unlockables throughout the game. They also have a lot of clothing sets which you can mix and match with that give you particular bonuses. You can wear boots to increase your movement speed, but you can also wear a helmet from another set to improve explosion resistance. I've been playing Far Cry since Far Cry 3 and the gameplay is addicting for me. As basic and repetitive as it is, I still find myself enjoying my time. If you were previously getting bored of past Far Cry games, this one isn't going to reignite your love for Far Cry. But if you have not played a Far Cry game in the past, this is an amazing game for you to start on and does not require any previous Far Cry games to be played. In fact, all Far Cries are standalone games. Some things that did ended up bugging me when it came down to gameplay was that there was no skill trees. It really threw me off. As well as NPCs kind of seemed a bit stupid 90% of the time. It felt like even when the enemies were looking right at me, they had a tough time detecting me, and I found it really easy to take out a base with a bow and arrow without ever getting detected. Now when it comes down to the story, I really like the character development of Anton Castillo, the antagonist, and his son. He is a cruel and unforgiving dictator, and his son Diego does not really agree with his actions, which kind of causes an interesting dynamic to see. The sub-villains from each so-called states were kind of dry, but I found that the character development of fellow allies were enough to keep me interested in what was going on in each storyline. They don't hold back on the cruelty and psychoticness of this game, which is iconic to the Far Cry series. Also to mention, the main character Danny is a fully voiced protagonist, which can be either a male or a female. Just like most Far Cries, this game is fully compatible with 2-person co-op, so you can run this beautiful game with your friends. Something new in this Far Cry that has not been shown in others are the cityscapes. Typically in other Far Cries there were large-scale fortresses, but it was very pleasant to see a cityscape in this game. They did also remove a focus on hunting and skinning. Loot is picked up by walking close to the corpse, and the tedious action of looting has been removed. It was cool to see a player skinning an animal in past games, but this has definitely sped up the gameplay, so there's no time wasted. Now my final verdict is that I like the game. Like a lot. It's the same as every other Far Cry, but I do love the series. It's addicting and they executed it pretty well in my opinion. There are not a lot of bugs that I've come across while playing this on PC, aside from a few NPCs bugging out during missions. It's a great take on a Far Cry game with a giant map, tons of gameplay to be had, and a psychotic villain that Far Cry fans will love. Thank you so much for checking out my review on Far Cry 6. If you could smash the like button, that would be extremely helpful for this channel, and if you enjoy the short, straight to the point reviews I bring, please consider subscribing and turning on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Also, PS, if you guys can come up with a cool, unique rating that I can implement in my videos, that would be awesome. Maybe like a BS rating or whatever. Let me know in the comments, and if I like your idea, I'll feature you in the next video.